a lot of people have been saying the children that are even in the United States now, you people are not taking care of them.
Exactly.
They are being shot every day. They don't have health care. They don't have, and then you people still want to bring more.
Hey. Big T, big T, big T. Big T, big T, big T. Big T, big T, big T. Big T, big T, big T.
So, shit, we're already live.
I know.
We live.
Just remind me the name,
Big
please.
talk.
Welcome to the Big Talk podcast.
Yeah.
We live with
Owi the Maker,
They already
and
know this.
Chavala and
this one,
Klinsman
and we have a
We got
new.
Reggie.
we got Reggie in the house.
Yeah.
Don't ask no question. Reggie
Yeah.
is here for y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Let's go.
We got Reggie out here.
So,
I feel like we've not really spoken about what we do personally. We've introduced ourselves,
Yes,
but
sir.
we've not really spoken
Yeah, can
about
we-
our career. What we do. We've been interviewing people about their careers and everything.
Oh,
So what
God.
do you do, Owi? What do you do?
I am a podcast host,
Uh-huh.
amongst other things.
What are the other things?
I'm a professional scroller of Instagram.
Be serious now.
Oh, okay. I also I make art. I make physical, digital art, and I'm like a psychic kind of person.
Is that what you studied?
I studied architecture
And here you are.
and IT, and here I am. So,
What about you, Klinsman? What do you do?
so
Ladies
are you
first.
been? Are you been
Okay,
our-
now.
Ladies first.
What do I do? I studied law. I ain't doing that shit. I
Why
studied
not?
law. Huh?
Why?
I mean, so I did it because I thought I was going to enjoy it. First of all, it was peer pressure.
Damn.
You know how your family is
Actually, it
always...
wasn't family pressure.
It kind of was, because when growing up, they will be putting things in your head. This girl can talk, she's very sharp. I think law will fit
That's
her. So
my
it got
lawyer.
into my head. And as a kid, you might not really know exactly what
if
you want
you're
there.
actually going to be a comedian?
Exactly.
Exactly.
They don't think in that direction. You know how
Exactly.
African parents
Yeah.
are always like,
Yeah.
doctor, lawyer,
Yeah.
whatever.
Can
So
you
they
even-
put it
can
in my
you
head.
come up and tell your African parents you want to be a comedian?
Or more?
Bruh.
Oh, but that one go loud.
You go loud.
You have to present it, and maybe you don't use comedian. You say a comic presenter.
That's even worse.
I feel like you
Tell
have
it-
to do it and then show them results.
I feel like
You
you
just
did-
have to just do it.
I
and
feel
see.
like you did with
They
African
just have to
parents.
see money.
Yeah, when they see money, they'll
No,
be like,
yeah, just like-
I was about to say it.
Nice
I was about
one.
to say that.
100%. They're like, wait, what are you doing? Is it pain? That's what they're interested in.
Yeah, so in the beginning stages, the hustling stages, where you're still
hustling
asking them
stage,
for money,
just
they're
do it
like,
on the low.
no. Because I'm currently in film, and then when I started, because I started as an actor, see, I've gone through many phases in this life.
Damn.
What did you
Yeah.
study?
I
Law.
think this
Okay,
is-
you
I
already
studied
said
law, and then I tried TV presenting, I tried modeling, I tried acting. Everything was just not giving like that. Like, I wasn't enjoying it, do you understand? Until I tried filmmaking. I'm like, okay, I enjoy telling people what to do, I enjoy coming up with concepts and, writing and stuff like that. And that's where I now found my bus stop.
For real? Is it
So,
because
which is
of-
what I do now.
Is it because you enjoy telling people what to do that you went into film?
That's one of it.
Oh.
That's one of it. I feel like I'm a very, what's the word I will use?
Dominant person.
That can be in different forms, but like when
In
you're
different
acting,
forms, dominant. Yes. Let's go.
but anyway, when you're acting, especially, let me laugh.
Nah.
Especially when you're acting, especially in Nollywood, there are a lot of things that you will not have a say in. It's like they're excessively putting makeup on you, and then everybody's saying that's how it's supposed to be. That's how it's supposed to be. And now I'm angry because I don't want this amount of makeup on my face, but there's nothing you can do. But then with being the filmmaker as the director, you can be like, what, I don't want makeup on this person, and everybody will be like, okay, cool. Isn't that more fun? It
Yes.
seems more interesting to do.
Sort of.
Exactly. So that's why I decided that, filmmaking is going to be my bus stop. And my parents are very, supportive. Now money is not coming in plenty, so the support is shaking. But I know eventually.
Well, you have
people-
some very nice, well-directed, good-looking films out there. Short films that
Yeah.
you've done.
Yeah.
So
Sorry.
well done.
Thank
Kudos
you.
to
Process, man.
It's a
process. Trust the process.
It's lit.
All those roles that you did brought you to who you are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it helps with networking as well.
Exactly.
I'm the only person that's not a filmmaker here. 3 of you guys are filmmakers.
Okay, so what do you
What
do?
you do?
A
Tell
whole
us.
lot of shit.
Huh?
A whole lot of shit.
Tell us.
First and foremost, I'm a musician. That's like my first love.
Is that what you studied?
No, I studied networking and cybersecurity. So I'm an engineer, but I don't do that.
Not that I don't do
I
that.
don't do that.
It's just I like it because
We not have
I
that.
studied that because I was curious about like
computers and like shit like that. So that I work in e-commerce with a company called Last Price.
Last price.
I work at Big Talk.
Yes. Yeah.
Nice.
We are
And then
podcasters.
I'm open
Yeah.
to business.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about
Okay,
you,
the
sir?
businessman.
Sir, I am a vessel. Straight up, I am into different. Okay, I started as a computer science major in university. I was like, oh, this programming is not.
It's not
Bro,
good.
coding. Did you do any coding classes, bro? That stuff is crazy,
C++,
man. Kick my ass
C
in school,
Sharp,
man.
Java,
Java,
all that.
man.
I was like,
Shoot
nah,
Hold the mic
G.
closer to you.
Sorry, I was like, nah, G. So I moved to digital art and did photography, video. Did like experimental video, like, you know, in the galleries where you just see like a short video of somebody just sitting in an open space and just looking at the camera and they might scream and that kind of weird stuff.
visualizers and
Yeah, I got into that and then I did music videos and then I started trying to find my path and my voice in the video world.
Clarence Peters, let's
Ah,
go, let's
man.
go.
This guy, he does it
You
all,
know,
actually.
so
Does it
and
all.
I went into like visuals because I was making music and trying to make videos for my music, but people were trying to cut my neck with prices. So I was
Yeah.
like, oh man, I better go and learn this thing.
Yeah.
So that's what pushed me into like digital visual work. I like paint and like play
You
the
do make physical
saxophone.
paintings?
Yeah.
Mad.
Yeah, but like I'm not like the Leonardo da Vinci of
But you do
painting,
it though.
but I
You
know how
do
to
your thing.
express myself.
Yeah.
That's why I call myself a vessel, because like
Vessel. This
I
is the
don't-
first
You do
time
it
I'm
though.
hearing someone
I don't
call
limit
themselves a vessel.
myself to,
That's
because
dope.
if you think about it, like we are not a body, you are a soul with a body.
Exactly.
Your body is just a vessel of your soul, you know.
I
So
like all this type
Deep,
of stuff.
deep,
I
let's
like
go.
that.
word. You know? so when I look at art that way and expressing myself, I might express myself with video, I might express myself with photos, with my saxophone, with just making a beat.
Yeah.
However the spirit leads, you know.
So,
That's
like,
what I do. So
This like sparks somewhere in my head, like being multidisciplinary.
There we go.
Like, do you, for example, like you make physical paintings, yeah, and then you make music.
Yes.
The experience of making music and the experience of making, for example, physical paintings.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like sometimes compare them and like do you enjoy both?
Equally.
I enjoy music more, just because of bringing different instruments and
Yeah.
your voice being an instrument, and that whole experience is very spiritual. Painting is more like therapy for me.
I love that.
And
yeah.
so when I go through an emotion, be
Yeah.
it NSAS or be it a heartbreak,
Yeah.
somebody give me breakfast and I just want
Yeah.
to splash paintings to let
Yeah,
it out.
it
you
makes
know?
sense.
I feel that.
So, and then sometimes blowing my saxophone is just like really relieving stress, you know, just to blow
Like
it.
breathing.
Yeah, breathing in and out. And
Yeah.
all that long work for sax is not easy. So,
As you mentioned that
Yeah.
art is therapeutic for you, it just came to my mind that a lot of us might be doing things as hobby, right?
Right.
As
Yeah.
hobbies that will be therapeutic. But then I feel like Nigerians try to monetize everything.
Everything.
And then it
Facts.
just takes the fun out of it.
Exactly.
Do you understand? It's
Yeah.
always like, oh, let's say I start doing, like I started yoga, right? Because it was therapeutic. I want to enjoy it. Next thing, no, you should start class. I think you should register this.
That's so
I think,
funny.
and then
That's so
immediately
real,
you
though.
start doing that. It's no more therapeutic. It has
Exactly.
taken that away because
Yeah.
now it's a business. So I feel like we literally
Man.
need to.
No, we have to. But the
we
thing
have
is,
to find things
but you
that
have
help
to make
us.
money.
You need
Guys
to make
have to
money. You need
I
to
know,
make
but I feel like
money.
we need to
Facts.
draw the line.
Of
We
course.
Nigerians
It's
need
balance.
things
Bro,
that will
Nigerians
help us
need it
calm.
more.
Nigerians need it more. We're going
We
to
need.
bad.
I feel like we need things that will help us calm our minds. Do you
Yeah.
understand? We
Yeah.
need things that we just enjoy. Okay, let's enjoy.
That's
Let
why
me
like
enjoy
the music
doing
is so
the.
dancey and like
Yeah,
people that
jolly,
don't have
yeah.
time for like
Yeah.
conscious
Yeah,
stuff.
I think music is doing a good job.
Music is doing
Doing-
a good job.
Musically,
With
yeah.
the balance.
Yeah.
That's
Like
why
the
they said if you
giants.
enjoy what you're doing, you will never have to work it in. So that kind of thing.
So I feel like it's necessary to find the balance. Balance always works in every conversation, but it's
Definitely.
necessary to find the balance in making your bar and doing what you love.
Facts.
And don't allow the love of money overthrow your passion. Like you should still be passionate about doing what you, but just find your solace in doing it
I
while
think
making
this,
money.
camera
This camera
went
went off. Yeah.
Okay. Talking about transactional, right?
All right.
A lot of things are
All right.
transactional.
Oh,
in-
snap.
These days.
Oh,
a lot of
snap.
things are
Everything is almost transactional.
Even love in
Even
this
love.
country is
Yeah.
transactional. I keep seeing every single time, who is supposed to pay on the first date, you know,
Right.
especially when you're like trying to date people. It's always about money. The women are looking for money. The men now want to marry people with money.
money.
What is that about?
Because you have to see, look.
Capitalism.
Go on,
God,
go
yeah.
on.
We go
Capitalism.
to
Love is not even real again.
No, love is real.
Love
Come on,
is real,
stop
but like,
this.
you know,
love is real. It's not a
Depending on where
transaction.
you're at. Depending on where you're at,
Exactly.
your perspective
It's
is going
not-
to be shaped around like what you know.
True.
So certain people that their values around love is what they see on social media.
Exactly.
It's going to affect how transactional their love becomes. you know,
But I
because
feel
the-
like more in this Nigeria, like 90% of people that are, trying
It's
to
so
date or in
transactional.
relationships, it's very, very transactional.
But the thing, it boils down to like, it's not just, it's like the whole ecosystem is like, if a politician wants to like win elections, it's just going to take 10K and give somebody to forget their worries. So money is automatically
drives
the solution
everything.
to everything in Nigeria.
So which means we don't know how to love anymore.
It's not even about
No,
Nigeria. I
no,
feel
but-
like it has to do with you as an individual.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You kind of have to map yourself out of wherever your location is, and it has to do with perspective.
Nigeria has a big factor.
Nigeria is a big factor.
Look,
yo.
it has a big factor, but it cannot stop you. That's
No,
just
of
what I
course,
feel
that's
like.
why we're doing what we do
as,
now.
Exactly,
We're
as an
about
individual, you have to
Exactly,
define your
exactly.
reality in a way. Like, if you say love is transactional, it will be transactional. Like, it was
Somebody,
similar to
you
what
might not want to
said.
transact your love, but somebody can come and transact it. Have
Exactly.
you been on
And
Tinder,
that's
like dating apps?
That's their own. That's
Bro,
Nigerian Tinder is not where it should be.
it is really not. It's
Honestly,
like
okay,
you
yeah,
get-
that one is very Nigerian. That's a very Nigerian
Tinder
thing.
is
because it's not the same.
marketplace.
It's not the same everywhere else. Do you understand?
It's a
So Nigeria is a big factor to that
I
transactional
wouldn't
thing.
say that. Don't be too quick to say that.
Oh, yeah, sorry, you've had good- you had-
globally, no, like globally, people use Tinder like how guys use Tinder in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
but
I feel like it's
Nigeria's
worse
own.
here.
Nigeria's own, yeah, Nigeria's own.
It's
worse.
deep.
Out of 12
Definitely,
babes,
definitely.
It's hook up.
I've been on Tinder for in Nigeria for a very short. In short, Nigerian Tinder is trash.
It's
It
the
doesn't work.
ghetto. It's the
not it.
fucking ghetto, bro.
It's not it.
So you've had good experiences on Tinder. Why did
No,
you?
what I'm saying is I've had the same experiences outside Nigeria. where
Okay.
It's just hook up, and I'm like, what happened to love?
Exactly.
Were you looking for love on Tinder?
I mean, I was
Did it happen?
trying to date.
It happened.
Well, I found
I was
love on
trying to
Tinder.
date. You
I'm
found
being
love on
hypocrite.
Tinder?
Yeah, I
Mad.
did. I
Good for
actually
you.
found love on
That's
Tinder.
mad.
Then.
I joined
I
Tinder
found love
too.
on social media and stuff, so like it happens.
Social media is one thing. Tinder is
Tinder is
another.
another.
I've actually met a couple of reasonable people on Tinder.
In Nigeria.
Yeah, in
So you
Nigeria.
are being a hypocrite.
How?
Because you just spoke trashly about Tinder in Nigeria.
No, it is, but there are exceptions to everything. Do you understand? Like, if the general is like, it's the same way how you make a general statement, maybe on Twitter, and be like, Nigerian guys are this.
Yeah.
Somebody
I
will
get what
understand
you
why
mean.
you
Yeah,
say
yeah,
that,
yeah.
but
Yeah,
there
but then
will
it's
definitely
like,
be
yeah.
exceptions. Do you
Yeah,
understand?
yeah, for
So
sure.
Nigerian Tinder, if somebody says Nigerian Tinder is trash, I will agree with all my heart because I've had more trash
More
experiences
trash.
than not. Do
Okay.
you understand? So, but
Straight
I've
up.
met like one or two
Okay.
people, but I feel like the relationships I've had on Tinder, not dating, like the friendships I've had on Tinder, they don't usually last. I think that's a me factor, Sha.
Why?
Even if they are
It
reasonable.
could be a
I,
bunch of factors. You know, in life sometimes you get busy. If the
maybe
person-
I
if you guys
joined
are
and
not
I'm chatting
aligning
because
like
I'm
that,
bored,
uh-huh.
and then at the end of the day, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
we're done. Do
Right.
you understand? But like, there are a
Facts.
couple of cool guys on Tinder.
I have
Man,
friends that
I've
made-
lost hope on Nigerian Tinder. It can't be sold to me at this point.
Tinder.
I feel like we women have a different experience,
Of course.
from the guys. You guys will see a lot of hook up asking for money. I've
Yeah.
met a few guys that would be like, you know what, where are you? Come over with a friend or something like that, and they would think. But most of
'cause
the
they
guys
think
that are,
like, doing hookup.
yeah, they would
Okay.
think that. So, but I feel like we have different experiences, both
Yeah.
genders. It's always
Yeah, I don't know. Like this Instagram now, like Tinder is not really like valid.
Man, honestly, me, I
Instagram
have
is
been-
doing the same
I've
thing.
been trying to
Twitter
do my
is
best in
shit.
experiencing the moment, and so how I hope to meet my person is in the moments. Like we meet each other, actually meet, and we vibe and we talk. And
Facts.
It's like, yo, there's chemistry going on.
Yeah.
And a lot of people find
Rather than
love.
trying to swipe is because of your looks. I hate that
Yeah.
objectification kind
Well,
of.
I don't mind. I feel like whichever way it happens for you, it can be swipe, it can be this, it can be that.
You're
But
right.
I love that. I love that idea of meeting in person and having that moment.
Sapiosexual.
Like,
But I feel like there's always that first
sapiosexual?
thing, when you're attracted to people's mind. Do you understand?
Intellect.
So I feel like, especially with guys, I don't know, you people will first be attracted to what you see. You like what you see. You like what you see.
I
Before
mean,
you
I
now
feel it's
go
not
ahead
just
to
guys,
talk.
even
Huge
girls
factor.
too.
Even
Even
girls,
babes
definitely.
now.
I don't think I'm going to talk to somebody that I know that.
Exactly, it's
Ah,
clapped.
First of all, you will first catch me with, this guy looks sharp. You
wow.
understand? Before you now further go ahead to, talk to the guy. But then at the same time, if somebody that maybe I might not find physically attractive talks to me and I love the way he's minding, I can take that out.
Are you
I'm like,
sapiosexual?
To a very large extent, yeah.
For real, that's mad.
Yeah, I like because no matter how fine you are or how much money you are, do you have sense?
God.
Do you have sense?
Common sense
Do
is
you
not-
understand?
it's
I'd
not
rather live
common.
with somebody
It's not
that has.
I think a lot of people, right? Like naturally, most people are sapiosexual, but like because of how perverted everything is now,
Yeah.
Because of how perverted everything is now.
You're right.
But basically, like coming back to what he said about human beings being, your body is just a
vessel.
container. So boom. Firstly, like if you meet somebody, how it was supposed to be in the original origins is that you're supposed to telepathically connect with somebody you fuck with them. That's what a soulmate is. Do you understand?
Yeah.
But now it's perverted, so it's like
But these days it's
you
so
are
hard to
judging. You're not even
find
looking
balance.
at the
Articulation
inside.
is
You're looking at
low-key
the
jokes.
outside.
Exactly.
That's why ladies,
people are
That's why
surviving.
women are most women.
Things are hard.
That's why they're getting their ass done
So you see now.
because it's like
Everything is being sexualized.
exactly. That's my
Okay,
point.
okay, I get
Finding
you now.
a
I get you now.
balance.
What
That's
is
my point.
portrayed
It's
as
so
cool.
important to find the balance in people, right? And it's very hard at the same time because sometimes somebody will have sense, might be a good man, but you're not physically attracted. Somebody, you might not be physically attracted to somebody, the person doesn't have money. And then, have you
easy.
seen this series,
It's not
Sex
easy.
Life? We once spoke about it with Owi.
Nah, I haven't.
So it's about this woman, right? She married like the man of her dreams,
Okay.
everything. He's a good father, he works, he has money, everything. Like, he's chill, but he doesn't satisfy her in bed.
Oh.
So she's sexually frustrated.
Oh.
And then they saw it as, 75 to 15%. It's like she has 75, but that 15% that is missing is so important to her. And she kept on going back to her ex.
Hey.
Try like cheating on
I think I've seen this
Oh.
movie, yeah.
cheating on her now man with the ex. So an argument came up. Is
Yeah.
it that like what is more important to you in a relationship basically? Like how do you find the balance? Because you cannot there are a lot of people that might not be able to find everything that they require in a spouse. Do you
I
understand?
don't think anyone ever finds.
So yeah.
So the big word there is contentment.
Yeah,
I think
facts.
you
That's
just
it.
have to settle. No, well, not settle.
Content-
accept
Find the
and
things
just-
that are more important
and
to
like
you.
understanding because like I saw something on Twitter like love doesn't sustain like marriages, it's like friendships. If you are not G's with your wife, like love cannot do it all.
Yeah, because sometimes the love
wears out,
fades.
like you can
yeah.
like
Bro,
And sometimes
meet a
it's
new babe and I
higher
love you.
and
Okay,
sometimes it's lower.
So like,
Yeah,
I mean, when people define love, what attributes does it really contain?
What is
me,
love?
I'm biblical.
are we going into
Me, I'm biblical.
Please, let's
love,
go into
like
it.
love is patient, is kind, is like sacrificial.
Yeah,
it's not
it's
always
more on
sweet.
that side. It's more on
It's
that
not
side
sweet.
than
It's
what
not
people
all
think.
fruity and.
I saw
fairy
somebody
tale.
defined love
It's
as
painful sometimes.
as putting somebody else's needs before yours. And I
Yeah.
feel like I agree with that very much. And if you're even happy to do that, it's even better. Do
Exactly.
you understand? It's not this our Nigerian love scene that everybody is like trying to see how you suffer your man to see whether he loves him.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you might enjoy suffering for this person. What?
suffer your man to see how you go? What's
Nigerian
going on
babes are
here?
dark.
Are you crazy?
Dark babes. Very
People
dark.
will glorify things like
As in,
Dark women.
So people will glorify things
God.
as, oh my God, he really wanted to go out with his guys, but he stayed with me. Oh my God, he loves me. All those kind of weird
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
Or maybe like he was supposed to do this, but he did this. Like just something weird.
Yeah.
And then people see that as love. Do you
Yeah,
understand?
I mean,
Sometimes-
everybody has their love language,
True.
but it's like, yeah.
True.
Sometimes
Big
people
point.
just glorify sufferhead as love.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's
But the
where
mo-
discernment. You have to be able to discern. Like, okay, this person, I'm not going to suffer forever. What's your plan?
Facts.
True,
Plan of
true.
getting us out of this. Because
Yeah.
if you don't have a plan on me,
Like I'm
Japa,
out. I'm that guy that if I ask you like, okay, what do you want for yourself? Like I was talking to this girl recently and I asked her what she wanted for herself and there was suspense and I was like,
Man said suspect.
I was like, I'm heading out.
It's like I'm ahead of
Because like I've suffered so much to find myself. Now I know myself, and I'm still like finding myself. So if I like, I need somebody that started finding themselves.
Exactly. I feel like we're
Do you understand what I
grown.
mean? So that
You
at least
guys
we
meet
know what we're
halfway.
doing. If
Well,
you are
bro,
like, you don't
like,
know what
meet
is
me
going on,
halfway.
if we can't hold that conversation,
Right.
then it's like, yeah, we're not meant for each other.
Right.
And it's like, sometimes people will be like, he will change, I will change him, I beg, please, you're not in just two. Do you understand? Change on your own and come and meet me. Sure you get. Because sometimes people are always trying to, meet somebody that is narcissist, somebody that doesn't have affection, somebody that, and then you're trying to, see how you can change the person.
Well,
Nah.
I feel like these days,
Yeah,
the
certain
same
things-
way people's attention span is growing shorter,
Yeah.
is the same way people's patience. It's like they meet
And as you
perfect.
get-
More if I just feel any vibes where I know like, hey wait.
Eh, wait,
People
red
don't
flag.
even give anyone like a chance. Like they don't give
Yeah.
that breathing room to get to know someone past the parts that they don't like.
Yeah.
Because you will not like every part of somebody.
Yeah.
And these days, if you just find what you don't like,
People are so sensitive.
They are
Exactly.
so fast. But I feel like at the same time, we've spoken about this before. You have to learn to find the line between something that you should be patient, somebody that you should be
True.
patient with, and somebody that is a red flag.
Yeah,
Do you
true.
understand? There are certain things that you might be able to tolerate, things that can be worked on.
Definitely.
Little things like, maybe this person is messy.
Uh-huh.
We can work. It's something that can be
But
worked
no
on.
be saying
No be say this
no
person
be saying
dey
slap you
deck
and then
you, you
stay,
go dey-
No, that's wrong.
But it's so crazy that a lot of women in
Can't
abusive
come down.
relationships don't leave.
Yeah, it's that Stockholm
I heard it's
syndrome.
difficult.
It's
I heard
weird.
it's very difficult.
It's weird.
I think they have
It's
Stockholm
probably-
syndrome. You know what Stockholm syndrome is, right? So it's a syndrome where like people were falling in love with the people that kidnapped them. Have you watched what's the name of the movie? The show.
Like
the
being
show.
addicted to pain or something.
The one that they went and stole gold and they were inside. What's it called? It's recent. Yeah, that has that Palermo and all those guys.
Yo,
Nairobi.
Kingsman, you be on some
Money
stuff.
Heist.
Money Heist.
Money Heist.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah,
they
yeah,
had
yeah.
Stockholm syndrome
Yeah.
because the people in the people they kidnapped started falling in love with the people
Yeah.
that kidnapped them.
Yeah.
And then so that's like
It
the
happens.
same
It
thing
happens in all
with
the
abusive
settings.
relationships. Like the guy is brushing you, but the brushing is affecting you psychologically. And you feel like that's your dad or some shit like
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's
it's
beating
so
me
hard
because-
for
You get scared
domestic
to leave.
like,
violent.
fucking get out. Leave
But
that
I
place.
heard 99% of cases, right, of people that are in these toxic relationships or domestic violence, there's always sign before the marriage. Do you understand?
Yeah.
If you talk to them or interview, I think I should do a documentary on this. If you should talk to them or interview them, right, most of them say that they've seen signs of violence before. It's like, oh, maybe he has
They
slapped
just
me
overlook the
once.
flag.
Exactly.
Or even their words. Like how they talk to people is very condescending.
You need
or it's
these
very,
are the
like,
things you need to
these are flags.
take note of in the courtship stage. It's not the one that
Exactly.
somebody will slap you once, you'll be like, no, if somebody can slap you when they are looking for you, what do you think they will do to you
Exactly.
after marriage?
Right.
I swear. that's
So
what
I
it
feel
is.
like the solution is always before, because when you get into the marriage, other factors come in. You have children, you have the society looking at you, your parents and everything. So it's very, very
Like you
good
guys
to-
heard about that Deeper Life woman that her
That
husband
her
was a
husband
pastor.
killed her, yeah.
And he beat her like to death.
What?
And that babe now,
Austin Achina.
she was probably on some Christian, the Lord will do it for me one day.
And
So
she
the guy
kept
don't
on-
brush you to
What?
death now. Like, do you understand? It's just
And she kept on going to the church, and they were like,
and she
go
was
back
hiding
and
it from
pray.
the church guy itself.
Go back and pray and all of that.
Wait. Let me just interrupt here a bit. Sorry, we're having technical
Kind of difficulties.
difficulties.
It's only with one
So
camera now.
no,
rotating
so
camera.
What?
yeah, this one is off. Yeah,
I'm just hearing.
yeah. So we're just going to run
It's
with
fine.
this.
That
Two.
shit I just said, right?
Yeah, man.
It's
Yeah.
crazy, bro.
We're
It
going to run
happened,
with these two
last 2
for
months
now.
ago.
Yeah,
Like,
But that's
what the
calm.
fuck?
No, you didn't hear the story.
I mean,
He beat her to death, she died.
Like she died. She's
Which
not
is a
alive
lot
anymore.
of people. Do you understand? There's a wall in Turkey.
yeah, exactly.
There's a wall in Turkey of women's heels. They put it to symbolize the women that have been killed from, by sexual violence.
Yeah, not to put anything, but you know that side of the life, like babes don't even have a say, like.
Yeah, there.
Not
But I
even-
always believe,
it's somebody
before
else's culture, so let me show
these
the
red
fuck
flags
up.
are there.
Right.
I saw somebody talking about, I think it was a relationship expert. He was like, the red flags you ignore is usually the reason why you guys end up divorcing or breaking up.
Yeah.
All the red
Facts.
flags that you don't see right now or you ignore or whatever is usually the same exact reason why you guys will eventually break up. So the way the manner in which somebody talks to you, the way, you better take note of all
Yeah.
those things,
Straight
Yeah.
up.
before they,
But then people are blinded by so many things, man.
Yeah,
Person
man.
might be very rich and like
That's what I'm
they
talking
have
about.
financial security. Like, maybe I should just stay.
Back then in uni, most of the girls that they were beating up and down, their guys are like Yahoo guys.
see,
Do you
man.
understand?
True,
It's
see,
like they
man.
would deck you and buy you a new phone. They would deck you and take you to Dubai.
That shit
God
is so
forbid.
real, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like this whole love thing here, like it's there's this saying that resonates so much that everyone is going to hurt you. It's just people who are what they hurt. It's like you already kind of know the end from the beginning, and then you consciously decide to be there. You know what I mean? But not in an abusive situation.
No,
Best
definitely.
case scenario, but you just know that okay, if this ends up this way, it was worth it because
Yeah.
of this. But
Wow.
you're not going to focus on that. You're going to focus on growing and better.
I feel like things like betrayal, hurting and everything, they are inevitable. You cannot avoid it, and you can't say you won't date somebody because they will hurt you. But is the person worth it? So I
Right.
actually agree
Yeah, that
with
makes
what
sense.
Owi is saying. Is the person worth it?
Right.
Makes sense.
As long as
I
you
mean-
enjoyed the ride before the hurt.
Before the
Let's
hurt,
go.
because that breakfast when you land,
You guys,
English
I don't
breakfast.
I don't like to I'm an artist, so I don't want to step on any other artist too. But
ahead.
bro, my Twitter was dying today, bro. Did you guys see what Burna Boy was wearing? Yankee, that's not so strange. But it was wearing a crop top, bro. Nigerians are violent.
They're
You guys
ripping
need to
him apart.
see this
Cooking
comments.
him. They're cooking
bro, you
him.
guys will laugh, bro. They're toxing at breakfast or something. Bro, the pictures.
But crops are dope for guys, man. I wore a crop in Lagos.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's not cool.
It's just not the
bro,
majority
Nigerians
in
are not
Nigeria.
having it.
And Nigerians don't care your status.
They don't care.
They
Even
will
the day I
wear
grab
crop,
you
like,
like
bro,
small
some-
gems.
You
guys
guys
saw
should
me
go
on-
look for this shit after.
Some guys saw me on the street and were like, "Oh, but nobody here they stand. Good outside." As in, they thought I was selling her, so as in, pause.
No, definitely. Sometimes we affiliate dressing to
Yeah, it's
know,
just like
lifestyle.
cultural difference, man. Like
You choke.
the choke is crazy, and our culture. See, now I'm about to get into this. Our culture before Christianity and Islam and Western religion came was really tied to our religion.
Yeah.
Our identity was
Strongly
tied to our religion. We held that to us.
Yeah.
So when we had to give up that religion, our identity, a big part of our identity left.
Disappeared.
Yeah.
And now what we consider as our culture is built by influence of religion
Western
and
culture.
the Bible being taught to us through people who weren't even practicing it the way it should be practiced,
Exactly.
and our understanding of what a man and a woman should
Be or should
all
do.
that is now just jumbled.
Yeah.
And so
it's
the
crazy.
cultural difference, you might see someone wearing a crop top and you're looking at them like they're crazy. When
Oh, God.
Even
not that
apart from
big of a deal.
things that you wear, even your decisions, do you understand?
Exactly.
Maybe somebody will be like, you know what, I don't want to get married. Are you mad?
Yeah.
How dare you not want to get married? So it's like every single thing that they are not used to is
Yes.
new to them. And then instead of learning from it or unlearning the things that they knew before is attack.
Or like
Do you
men wearing
understand?
earrings.
I'm
Yeah.
kind of numb
Exactly.
to those kind of characters these days. Like whenever someone comes at me with that, "Oh, are you blah blah blah?" You're like, "Bro,
Relax.
as in,
Like,
go
chill.
and
man.
Me
skate."
too, I've kind of been in that space. Like, I do whatever the fuck I want to do.
Because right now you have
There
to.
we go.
Because
You
at the
have
end of
to.
the
Class
imagine
last.
the world is moving on.
My
Right.
defense is just one. If the so-called leaders or people telling us what to do were doing something sensible,
And maybe
then I would have listened to them. But at this point,
no way.
You see people in broken homes, broken marriages,
Right, exactly.
coming to advise you on
I'm a
what
very
to do.
respectful guy, right? But don't
Who?
try to
Faith.
tell me not to do what I'm doing.
Right.
Camera.
Right.
Because you are the holiest person. Okay, what
Exactly.
have you not siphoned
Exactly.
the whole funds of the country?
Exactly.
And you're holy and you pray.
It's crazy. A lot of things have religious backing, and people forget that there are atheists that exist. There are traditional worshippers
There are
that
even better
exist.
Did you see
people that
the
people that
traditional, the lawyer that went to court in his
Yeah.
traditional outfits? I
I brought it up and this nigga had nothing to say.
Looking like a babalawo.
I love
I
that.
did not know
Nice
anything
one.
about it.
For them,
The
yeah.
guy painted his
I didn't
eye.
even know it till now.
Guy
A
look
lawyer,
like
proper old man.
traditionalist like this.
Bro, it's like I said, I would do that shit.
Me
Like I
too,
would
bro,
do
that
it.
guy.
That's the kind of shit I
But
would
the
do.
thing
So-
is that it was the reason behind what he
Yeah.
did. Like I told you, they passed a law where they allowed like where they are like, you know what, Muslim women can wear their hijabs wherever. So he saw it as, okay, if they can do that, why can't I do that as well? You people passed a law to allow them wear their, you know,
hijab.
I mean, I understand
Hijab.
it very well, and that's
and then
why
he
I
was
say
like,
I
you
would
know
do
what,
it.
me, I'm a traditional worshiper. Let me wear my own. Do you
Yeah.
understand?
But shout out to this episode. This episode is going to be choppy. I'm already seeing it from the editing. It's going to be chop. So you guys enjoy. If you're still sticking with us, you're a real one.
Yeah.
Oh God.
And also let's go into this abortion
There
laws.
we go. I knew
Let's
you were
go
talking
Now
into
let's go
this.
into the
Let's go
hot
to the
topic.
hot.
Bro, even Kendrick Lamar protested in
There we go.
It makes absolutely
It
no
doesn't make
bloody
sense.
sense.
Because it's men that are making the laws.
Do you understand?
Right.
It's
Like
fine.
somebody said that there's no law that permits people to make laws on men's bodies. So why should there be for women? Like, what's their reason behind? And a lot of people have been saying the children that are even in the United States now, you people are not taking care of them.
Exactly.
They are being shot every day. They don't have health care. They don't have, you know, and then you people still want to bring more into the world? For what?
It's dark.
It's very dark.
Right.
And then their argument is always like, you know what, it's a fetus. It's going to grow and become a baby eventually. So that's a life and all of that.
I think what they need to focus on is providing
For the people that
for
already
the
exist,
people
right?
who exist. And in terms of when someone wants to abort a baby,
Mm-hmm.
they need to provide like a structure where people who cannot have babies can
They already have that. Social services, right? That's how they
can
adopt
get,
there.
exactly.
Yeah.
But they have no say in making a law as to what women do personally with their bodies. If
Exactly.
anything, they
What
should
about
provide
people-
a safe space.
People that are not
'Cause it'll
mentally and financially capable of caring for the
Exactly.
baby. So they are just going to give birth to the baby and make the baby suffer or what?
Exactly.
It's just some people for health reasons. There are some people that have this thing for high risk pregnancies.
right.
If they keep it, it could be fatal. It could end up, very high
Exactly.
risk. There are so many reasons. I don't think you should just make a blanket rule like that covers everybody. It makes
Exactly.
absolutely no sense.
That's mad.
If they really care, there's so many other rules that.
So
they
what is
have
the
made.
situation now?
The
Like
pro-life
you're-
people are saying. The pro-life people are saying.
Yeah,
Sorry, ask
I
your
hate, I
question.
hate to appear ignorant, but like, what I'm understanding is in America now you cannot abort
Yes,
legally.
it's illegal. They've criminalized it.
Who passed this thing on?
Men!
Joe Biden.
Absolutely
Senator
old men.
Biden,
Under
No,
his
it was the
government.
Supreme Court.
under his government.
Supreme
but-
Court
Under his
under his
Yeah.
government now. So
And they're not trash. Like,
Yeah.
that's
it's for
But they said
that's
that every state has the liberty to pass whichever in their state. So some states is legal, some is not.
I'm
It's
sure
like
Texas will go the other
Gas now.
way. Texas
Gas.
will go the other way.
it makes
Guys,
absolutely no sense.
I think it's deeper than even what we are talking about.
I'm
like the
telling
ripple
you.
effect of why they made that decision, I think is.
I feel like it runs
because
deep.
when you talk about white supremacy and them fearing that they are going to go extinct and everybody's going to be.
I saw
mixed.
somebody talking about that as well.
I
They
think
said
I think it might have something to do with that.
Exactly.
They
honestly.
said
I don't-
that 80%
They are
of the
tied to those
fetuses
things,
that
but
have been
those are not
aborted
things
are
we should
white.
talk about.
And they want
exactly.
more white people. Like they want it to dominate
You know what I'm
the
saying?
US.
If you think about immigration and when
Population
when
control.
population control, when Ukraine and Russia were doing all this,
Ethnic cleansing.
they were bringing so many people to the US from Ukraine. But when people in Haiti were trying to
Did you
cross
see what happened to
borders,
the Africans like 2 days
when
ago?
Africans are trying to cross
Did you see what
borders,
happened
they are
in, I think it
flogging
was
them.
Morocco. Africans trying to go into Spain. Bro, they dropped like 100 niggas. Like they shot them
So
like
I think like
dogs.
this decision is like deeper than.
It's deeper than what we are seeing on
but
like the
even in
surface
reality,
level.
it's messed up.
Yeah.
It's so messed up.
you know.
Imagine
Because
somebody coming to tell you this. What?
You should be able to walk into a
crazy.
hospital and safely abort a baby.
Exactly.
If you need to, you understand?
If you need
and
to.
then
no
the
sense
options
to
of
me.
okay, you don't want to abort this baby. When you give birth to this baby, you can give the baby to us, and we'll take care of the baby.
Exactly.
If someone is looking
So
for
it
a
actually
kid,
depends
they can
on
be
the
adopted.
reason as
Exactly.
well.
So I just feel like
First
there
and
are other
foremost-
things that they should be putting in place that they are not even talking about. So
The main number
You
one
can
problem
tell
is the fact that it's all men making
exactly,
this decision.
like
Yeah,
so
you
like
know-
there was no woman that had a say in
There
this.
was
Like,
no
that's
woman
crazy.
there.
It's true,
That's
like,
and
crazy.
it's all of them with no uteruses
And if you think
or
about
no
it, like
experience.
in a lot of African religion, woman is God. God is woman. It's
Yeah, God is a
feminine.
black
Minus
woman.
It's
religion,
feminine.
self,
The way
like
we look at
the
women,
earth, the nature, we're talking
Mother
about
Nature. Like,
all
we
those
need to
things
look
they
at women
reproduce,
with
so
a higher
they're like
reverence than
Yeah,
we are
female.
as a
Most of these
society.
things are female. Like
So
Do you
like
understand?
woman is nurturing. Who raises us is women. You know, takes care of us. All that. Cooks.
I would love for like men as a whole to just come together and go out of power for like 1 year. And just
will not
allow
happen.
women
It
to
will
do
not happen.
stuff.
but
It will
we
never
need
happen.
it.
Yeah.
You know how when COVID came and lockdown, the air was clearing, fishes were smiling, all that.
Yeah.
Like, you know who
If
I
we
wanted
put
the
women-
president to be? Ngozi.
I feel like a
wanted
woman
Ngozi
should
to be the
actually
president.
rule for a while.
Yankee or
Let's
here?
see.
Let's see.
Since the men have been ruling for
Do you know the woman I'm talking
centuries,
about?
and look at where we are.
Ngozi, she was the CBN president. She does a lot of shit. Just look her up. Ngozi
Who?
Ikonjo
You don't
Iweala.
know Ngozi?
What?
No.
That woman is like Nelson
She
Mandela.
has done a lot.
Yeah, she has done
She's
a
not
lot.
a loud person, but that's who she is.
Even one of
she
the
running?
Yeah, now she was supposed to run,
Oh,
but
okay.
she
Even
was
one
supposed
of-
to be somebody's vice. But like obviously, like
We
she's
need
a woman.
women.
even one of the
leadership
best
positions.
countries right now is New Zealand. They have one of the strongest passports,
Their president
and
is
it's
a
a
woman.
woman.
You
Yeah.
see now?
That's mad.
You see now?
Their
The
president
rest of
is a
the world,
woman.
Go and learn. Oh.
Yeah, like there should be.
So
there
I
should be
feel
some
like we
balance.
really should give
I
it a shot
beg.
because
For
the things
real.
that are happening now, they are
For real.
psychotic.
If you look at a lot
There are
of
things that-
corporations, a
nightmare.
lot of corporations that are leading now, if you look at their board of executives, women are there.
Yeah.
Women are there. So
Yeah, that's because I was even reading another book about like even stuff like pilots. Like this book is like very ancient, but it was saying how like stuff like pilots, like a woman would be a better pilot because they are more careful. I don't know if you get the psychology of what I'm trying to say. Like they are more like
no, that makes
they
sense.
pay more. Like a guy now can just enter and ignore like a cop in the room. Do you understand?
Generally, yeah.
Oh,
I heard
get
that
what you
women are
mean,
more
yeah.
detailed.
I get what you mean. Yeah.
I feel
No,
like
that
we are
makes
more
sense.
detailed as
The women are
filmmakers,
essential.
as
the world.
photographers, you know, as
Is it what, are we
because
back? We are back on this camera.
Yeah,
Hallelujah.
but like you see,
But we're about
yeah.
to bring
Wrap
it
it
home.
up.
Yeah, because I think we've been going for about
Yeah, it was a nice
that time
conversation,
span.
man.
But like, yeah, just because of all these technical P's.
If
Yeah.
everyone could change one thing in the world, what would it be? Just one thing, and that's
okay,
the
just
only
one
thing you
thing.
can change for the rest of your life.
I mean, right now, if you give me that opportunity, I would say more women in power.
that's
Good
sexism. I was
answer.
going to say sexism as well. You know, gender discrimination, basically. You know, let's see what the world will feel like, you know, when people are actually being, you know, treated equally and have like
Feel that.
equal rights.
I feel that.
Wait, sorry, you. That question is
It can
about
be broad.
Earth
It's
alone. You
about
can't-
Earth. It
okay,
can be
if
about
not,
anything.
I would say,
It can be
World
I would
about
say,
hunger. Mine is
family.
world
I would say
hunger.
train station
I
to
think they need
Mars.
to eradicate world hunger.
What is it?
I think they need to eradicate world hunger. It's unnecessary.
I agree with that.
Because like there are 7 billion people and there's people that have $7 billion.
Yeah.
I could give $1 to everybody. on
Capitalism.
Earth.
We are
There we
going back
go.
to the first thing
There
that
we
we said.
go.
It's all
What is
capitalism.
your- what is one thing
I
you
think it might be
change?
capitalism.
Yeah?
Capitalism.
Because like that's what drives everything from racism to white
Every
supremacy
fucking thing.
Straight
to what we just talked about, abortion.
Yeah.
It's still capitalism. COVID that happened was capitalism. Still
Exactly.
how they told
What
us, "Hey,
is for
vaccine,
people
hey,
like
hey, hey."
me who don't know what
Stupid people.
capitalism is?
I
What
mean,
is that?
Just like
Being a capitalist, money over everything.
money over
Like,
everything.
in
basically.
simple terms.
Yeah, just
and
trying
so
to make back
whatever
from.
whatever decision you're making, you put humanity before money.
Before money.
Yeah.
Sorry, after money.
You
After
put
money.
humanity after money. So
Wow.
what I want is that we put humanity before
Yeah.
money.
Like instead
So-
of clearing hunger
instead
in this
of-
building now,
yeah.
everybody should have money.
A lot of the problems we're having in this world
No,
is
but-
because of capitalism.
Yeah.
If we're being honest.
Because like if you
a
think
lot of people
about it,
benefit from
when
things.
nations are being built, it's what because this city has a lot of resources, so it's a
More
metropolis. Now, next thing, Abuja is now being created, or Jos is now being created. The people in the village now have to start traveling
To Abuja.
there because the economy
Yeah.
runs.
Even our problem in
right.
Nigeria, the suffering right now,
Exactly.
everybody's looking for money.
So if
People
people were making
supporting
decisions,
people just because of their own personal gain. It's like, what?
well, it's
It's
like so
crazy.
complex too. So
It's
like,
It
complex,
is.
they
It runs
complex.
deep.
It runs
Everything
deep.
runs deeper than what we are talking about.
so even that, how do we even change that? Like, because
Something has to happen eventually.
can't.
Honestly.
But like, we're hopeful through this conversation and through more
Yeah,
conversations.
hopefully, I
that
believe in
People can
conversations.
start to think in a certain way. You can open people's minds.
Yeah, there's a
Exactly.
lot of good people. Though. It's just that evil is kind of like outweighing good, but there's a lot of good people.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah.
there is.
They're
I've been seeing
making
a lot
efforts,
of.
but like obviously, like The devil has hands.
For real.
Mad.
And he's using that shit.
He has hands.
I wanted to wrap up here, but in one part of me is like, how about we just let it slide? How about we just keep on chatting around? I took a shot of Bombay before
Like
this.
that.
I feel like
feeling nice. I'm feeling nice. I don't think I had to go.
I tell you, it's stuff here. It has me on a mellow, like just chill.
But I think we've been talking for a while, Sha. It's been like
do
an
you
hour.
think we have any other topics that are like,
Oh yeah,
hot
shit.
topics?
We
My
do, but
EP is dropping this
There we
this
go.
month.
Plug it.
Come
plug
on,
that,
777.
plug that, plug.
Lucky number
Wait, when is
7.
it dropping? This
I
one,
don't know.
you've had this EP going on for
I
a
don't
very
know.
long
I'm
time.
just like I have other things happening. My
lot of
brain is
things,
like
yeah.
I'm
feel
trying
that.
to come back to like
I
don't
feel
let
that.
the
I
music
feel
go.
that so much.
yeah.
I'm holding the music like this.
From the
So
bottom
yeah,
of my heart.
let's do shameless plugs. Shawala,
Shameless
what's coming?
plug.
What's coming soon?
Okay, there's a short film I'm trying to work on, all female crew, which I put out. Yeah.
Rainy Day.
So no,
it
the
have a
name of
name?
the film is Rain.
Mad.
Rain, yes.
Can you speak to like inspiration or like?
Yeah, it's inspirational. It's a film about girl child education, and discrimination basically. But I'm telling it through friendship.
Oh,
Do you understand?
that's
I'm
nice.
telling it with two little girls, and then how certain things affect
Nice one.
things around them.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing, and I really want to use an all-female crew for this. I just want to see more women
Yes.
in
I'm
film,
all
and I
for
want to be
that.
part of that,
Yeah.
because I'm not a big filmmaker yet, which means I want to see myself there. And while I'm going there, I want to bring people with me. Do you understand? So I want to see how I can
That's
work with
mad,
more
man.
women.
Amazing.
And hope. So hopefully we start production next month, which
Amazing.
All the best.
All the best,
Production
man.
is like
Sounds
going
amazing.
to war.
It's heavy,
It's
man.
like going to
Production,
war.
movie
People don't
production is
understand
heavy.
filmmaking. It's like you're dealing with
But I
reality.
feel like
if the sun should go down and you have not finished shooting the scene that
have
was
to
supposed
wait
to be
till
in
the
the
next
morning,
day.
you now have to go the next day.
yeah.
It's like,
And now that it's even rainy season again, anything can happen. So people should put me in your prayer.
Right.
Yeah.
It's for me, I let that.
We
We
got
are
you.
losing lights. We are losing lights.
Oh, boy, you don't pursue sunlight. You don't.
Somebody,
Bro, light, your sun is setting. You can't control that daylight, and it's the best
We are losing
lighting.
lights.
There's no set that you will not hear that.
Yeah,
Do you
man.
understand? And somebody said that film production, right? The terms are usually very vulgar.
Oh, yeah.
It's like cut that light, kill that. It's like it's always
That
something
process,
very. I don't know why somebody would.
You're passionate about like women's rights and like, is that why?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
feminist,
yeah.
so I'm very passionate about women
Yeah,
rights,
it's
but I'm not
Can
the
you define
toxic.
feminism?
I feel like feminism is, a movement towards fighting for equal rights, basically.
Equal rights and
exactly, and
opportunity.
there's a lot of misconception around
Exactly.
that, especially
That's
in
why I wanted
Nigeria.
you to
So
define
mad.
it.
So
Let's
at
clear it.
this,
Yeah, that's why I wanted
So
you
a
to
lot of
define
people
it.
see it as, when we talk about equality, they remove the right. They're like, me and a man, we're equal. Like I said, there's no two people that are equal in this
course.
world. Even twins are not equal. Like
I'm a twin, by
everybody,
the way, yeah.
exactly. Everybody has their
She's a
strengths.
twin.
Oh, that's dope. Everybody has their strengths and weaknesses. So when
Yeah.
we're fighting, it's not because we want to say I and you, both of us were equal, but both of us were human beings at the end of the
Yes.
day, and we should be treated as such. Do you
Exactly.
understand? They should not give. They should not give men, the right to do this, the right to do that. All of us, we have fundamental human
so-
rights. So why is the right of movement taken away from us? Why is the right of voting
Exactly.
taken away from us?
Exactly.
So those are the things that we need to clarify, because sometimes on Twitter you'll be seeing
course.
absurd things,
Of course.
like maybe somebody is trying to like change a tire. They'll be like, "Where are the women here now?" That's not what we're talking about. Do you
Savannah, I should
understand?
take
what rights do women don't have? The rights of
Please go
movement.
and research that.
Well, no, I'm just saying. Right of
No,
movement.
let's converse. Let's converse.
I'm just
It's
saying,
like-
yeah, the right of movement,
it's-
is that not... Do women
There
not
are
have
lots of-
the right of movement?
When it comes to rape, yes.
Yeah, so-
some places it's like
Some places women don't have the right to... Okay, yeah, like...
Not
especially-
like right of- it
It's not
depends on
written
how you
paper.
want to
It's not
describe
written
it.
on paper that you
But
don't have the right.
society
but the way
enforces it.
society
But
functions.
like even in
Yeah.
workplaces, even in like industry,
Exactly.
there are men that are paid higher than women for the same roles. So what do you classify that under? So it's not like it's written ABC clear like that, but
Okay.
there are certain things that we will have to fight for. Do you
Yeah.
understand? There are certain countries that women were not allowed to drive for the longest time.
Yeah.
Only men were.
Which is wild.
Like, why is that?
Yeah.
So anything
That's
you're
crazy.
taking away from us solely because of our gender,
Exactly.
that's what we are fighting against. It's like, okay, we're taking this away from you because you're a woman and nothing else. Do you understand? Can I do it? Yes. So why are you taking it away from me because I have a vagina? Do you understand? So there are a lot of places that
Or not just 'cause
women
you're-
were not even before. Women were not even allowed to have bank accounts without a man's signature. There are a lot of places that women were not allowed to vote. There are a lot of places. So these are the things that we're trying to change. Do you understand? If you
Yeah.
people can have the rights to do this, why can't we as well? Do you understand? So it's not like we're raising shoulder and trying to be like, you know what, me and you, we're equal. We are not. Everybody has their strengths and everybody has their weaknesses. But at the end of the day, we're all
Yeah.
human beings and we should be treated as such. Thank you very
Absolutely.
much.
You're welcome.
Well done,
and
well
thank you
done.
for saying
Thank
that.
you for elaborating and clearing things
Because
out.
like a lot of movements can get hijacked
Yes.
by people who don't know themselves, who are not aware of culture, who are
Yeah.
not aware of what's going on.
Like,
and
there's a
then
lot of people you meet that can't really explain feminism.
Exactly.
They don't have a reason. No.
they are just following crowd.
Yeah,
you know,
moving with the wind.
Okay, why?
Yeah. What
Because
Because then you guys.
Especially when people are talking about, you know, in a household, who should split the bill, who should do what works for your family.
Yeah.
What if the woman is any more? Do what works for your family. You people all have, you know what works for your family. But is anybody oppressed in the process? Is anybody being held down in the process? That's
think
what we
about
are fighting
humanity.
against.
Is anybody's humanity at stake? Like, they're not
Housewives
really-
could be
yeah.
feminists. Do you understand? As long as nobody is forcing them to do
Of
that,
course.
it's their decision to maybe take care of their kids and, you know, do this. They've shared it equally between their husband, and that's what works for their family. But you see some people coming to argue that a housewife can't be feminist because she doesn't have career. Shut up. Like, shut up.
I guess it's time to call it.
okay. We're live
yeah.
again. We're back.
Like as long as nobody is being oppressed, no woman is being oppressed in the process of what it is that you're doing. You
Facts.
know, a housewife can be a feminist. It's like she's there because she wants to. It's not because anybody is forcing her to do these things. Do you understand? But it's in a situation where a man comes to tell you can't work, you can't do it. That is when feminism comes in. Do you understand? It's hard enough. Motherhood is hard enough. Do you understand? A lot of people downplay it, but taking care of the house and taking care of kids is hard
Absolutely.
enough. There was even an experiment where they were like, okay, the dad should do it, and they were like, I'd rather work, please. Do you understand? So at the end of the day, it's all about, you know, having a choice, having a voice. As long as you have the choice to do this and nobody is forcing you or taking away something from you, that's what we are trying to, you know, fight for.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And on
Well
this
said.
note, we shall. Or
Well
anybody
said.
has anything
Do you
to
feel
add?
like there's any
No,
progress in
you have
that?
rounded
in
it
I
that
up.
think there's
Of
area?
progress.
course.
There's
Of
a lot of
course.
progress. Like
Yeah.
I said earlier, there's like women in like top corporations that are in the board now. Whether they are the top most, that's still progress that we're trying to make.
Yeah.
But I've seen different film sets that's all women, and I'm the only guy. And I'm like,
For real?
what? Oh, boy.
Yeah, like
This is,
somebody
like,
even
surprising.
said Nollywood is no longer male
Yeah,
dominated.
no, most definitely.
see now.
Nollywood
It's no
is-
longer. There are
it's
a lot
the,
of
it's the
women
babes that
writers.
make shit pop
Exactly.
So
in
like,
Nollywood.
there's progress being made.
There's a lot of
in
progress.
fact,
Yeah.
the kind of progress me I want is some kind of reparation, some kind of salary. They should give black women salary for like a good couple of years.
Yeah.
For all the bad things they've done.
Yeah,
to them
compensation.
and all the suffering that black women have had to go through. Then black people globally.
That's why somebody even
need
said
some
that
kind of
there was
globally,
a,
Bro, let
not
me
just
show
in
you
America.
there was a
Black people
feminist. There was a
globally.
feminist that said that
Reparations of
everybody
some
should
sort.
be thankful that we are not seeking revenge. We're just
Exactly.
seeking
Yo,
equality.
let me read this
because
thing.
imagine if we're trying to revenge what
You guys should
was
hear,
done to us.
see this picture,
See.
right? A history written in blood cannot be erased by lies written in ink.
There we go. The
Yeah.
amount of genocide.
Do you know how much blood?
the
And you
amount
think
of
you can
blood
just
that's
write shit
shed
on paper and cover
in
it?
this
Nah.
No, do you know the power
Africa.
of blood?
Do you know how our grandmothers
Then they-
suffered?
Exactly, man.
I'm
Do you
just
know
waiting.
how our grandparents
I don't have to get
suffered?
too graphic.
Even our mothers. Do you know how they fucking
We're even
suffered?
super cool about it.
Yeah.
It's like
I feel like women are super cool about it,
Exactly.
and a lot of times they are like, feminists shouldn't be angry. Like it's not a movement about anger and everything. We have every right to be angry.
Listen, when you do research, you know that
You
people have
cannot
every
talk
right to
about
be very
oppression
angry.
in a calm tone.
Exactly.
It's the same way you want to talk about your government, the way they are oppressing us, and then you'll be like,
no.
you know what, you people should not oppress us. Don't do that, baby. No, you're angry, and you have every right to be. It's the same way as well. Black people are mad about slavery. You cannot address this kind of issues with calmness. I feel like we're not even angry enough.
Like, you know, they are still profiting. That's the painful part. They're
Yeah.
still profiting off our backs.
Yeah.
Like all these iPhones.
And the slavery has
all
changed
these
now.
batteries
Exactly.
for
There's
camera.
slavery.
These cameras
There's still
are easy.
slavery.
New slaves.
It's just been modernized.
Most of these rappers are top notch, right?
Classism is
Top notch
happening.
rappers in the entertainment industry, Bustide slaves. You know what Bustide is?
So you cannot talk about oppression.
Slaves. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So
You
they,
being
they just don't
oppressed.
know. Oppressors, I like to see oppressors actually sorry for what they're doing. Not going and creating a street for
Like
somebody's
Epstein.
name. Not painting.
Fucking
actually
Epstein.
giving people money and resources and structure.
Yeah.
Infrastructure to develop, build
Exactly.
communities, build other.
Yeah.
So
Because not-
until that happens, man, we have to
Action
be
speaks
angry.
louder.
We have to be
vex.
angry.
Honestly.
Every oppressed person should be angry,
man.
no matter what you're oppressed
Yeah,
about.
man. So,
Racism, classism, sexism, all the ism,
that.
everything we should be angry.
You know.
I feel like
Our
we should be
oppressors are trying to suppress us.
Word.
Bars.
Words.
I think we spoke long.
Yeah. So let's wrap it up.
So big
Let's wrap
talk.
it up.
Big talk.
Yeah, man. We
Yeah,
had,
so yo,
I had my guy, man, Reggie. I met you
Yes,
guys. I met
sir.
Reggie in New York like years back in 26, like 15. Kali Abdul, one of my OGs, he introduced me. He was like, "You need to know Reggie,"
Amen.
and that was it. Like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
Reggie
man.
introduced me
But
to
our roots are tied.
our roots are
J-Town
tight,
way.
bro. It's so
Okay.
tight. Like we have so
Rapping.
we're meant to know each other.
Yeah.
You know that type of thing.
I hear you.
So boom, this is my guy.
Mad.
I'm happy we
Actually
had him on here.
enjoyed
Thanks
the
for having
conversation
me.
with you.
Yeah,
I
enjoyed
absolutely
this, man.
did.
Thanks for coming on the
Yeah, man.
podcast, Reggie.
Thank
man.
you so much.
Thank you. This is historical,
vibe.
man.
Big talk.
It's Big Talk, the biggest podcast, and we out.
We out.